Welcome to this deep dive. We're taking a closer look at some really compelling cases using the source material you've shared with us.
Yeah, and today it's Ted Bundy, drawing from Dark Minds Unlocked.
He's a figure that, still fascinates and horrifies people.
Yeah.
This guy who seems so normal.
Exactly. That's the core of it, isn't it? How someone seemingly trustworthy could be responsible for such terrible acts.
So our mission here really is to unpack that, look at his methods using the source, and figure out the bigger lessons.
Right. Not just recounting the awful history, but understanding the how and the why behind his deception.
Okay, so let's start with that facade. Dark Minds Unlocked talks about his tactics,
Hmm.
the fake injury, needing help.
Uh-huh. The cast asking for help with books, always leading back to his Volkswagen Beetle.
It's chilling how he turned basic kindness into a weapon.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't just random charm. It was incredibly calculated. He knew people wanted to help.
He exploited that trust, appearing vulnerable, like you said, to lower their guard.
It was a strategy, a very effective, very predatory strategy.
It makes you really think, doesn't it,
Yeah.
about those everyday interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Then the sources move on to his arrest in 75 and, well, the escapes.
All the escapes. I mean, it's almost hard to believe. Twice he got away.
Jumping out of a courthouse window. It sounds like something from a movie.
It speaks volumes, though. About his arrogance, maybe? This feeling he couldn't be caught or held?
And that period when he was on the run in Florida, things escalated so quickly.
Terribly quickly. The sorority house attack. Just weeks after escaping. 2 young women killed in, what, minutes?
The shift from calculated deception to that kind of explosive violence is stark.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if escaping made him feel, I don't know, bolder, like the rules didn't apply.
Reinforce that sense of power, maybe?
Could be. Each time he slipped away, it probably fed into that belief in his own invincibility.
Then we get to the trial, and he defends himself.
Which is another layer entirely. Dark Minds Unlocked points out how unsettling his courtroom behavior was.
Charming the jury, apparently. Even smiling while describing horrific details.
It's a classic element you sometimes see discussed with psychopathy, isn't it? That superficial charm, the lack of empathy, enjoying the spotlight, the control.
Even getting fan mail. It's disturbing to think about.
It really is. It shows a profound disconnect in how some people perceived him, despite the evidence.
So, pulling back a bit, why does this case, Bundy's case, still matter so much today? What did we learn?
Well, it was a huge turning point for criminal profiling, a real wake-up call.
How so?
It basically shattered the stereotype of what a monster looked like. People expected someone obviously menacing, maybe visibly disturbed.
But Bundy wasn't that. He looked ordinary, friendly even.
Exactly. He forced law enforcement, and really everyone, to confront the idea that evil doesn't always wear a scary mask. It can look like your neighbor.
That's the uncomfortable truth the source gets at, isn't it? Someone capable of seeming kind, maybe even doing good deeds sometimes, could harbor this extreme darkness.
It challenges all our shortcuts, our biases about who looks safe.
You can't just judge by appearance.
Definitely not. It highlights why we need to look deeper, maybe trust our gut feelings more sometimes.
Okay, this has been a pretty intense, but I think important deep dive into Ted Bundy, using insights from Dark Minds Unlocked.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about.
So next time, we're actually going to be looking at another very dark case mentioned in the materials, Dahmer's Apartment of Horrors.
Right. So if you find these kinds of explorations into the complexities of the criminal mind valuable, make sure to follow us for more.
And maybe just a final thought to leave you with. Bundy's case is just such a stark reminder, isn't it? That first impressions can be dangerously wrong.
Mm-hmm. Trust your instincts.
Sometimes the people who seem the least threatening, well, you just never know.